Okay, the stove is turned on, 100 kilojoules of energy is added to the kettle. What is the change in internal energy? So delta U equals Q minus W. The kettle isn't doing any work right now, it's just gaining internal energy, which will equal the heat provided. So the answer is obviously 100 kilojoules. In part B, the story is the same, except the kettle now whistles and shakes. So in the part B, the work is not zero, so all we can really say is that the delta U will now be less than 100 kilojoules. The kettle is turned off, but the heat is turned off, but the kettle continues to shake. What is the change in internal energy? So that will equal to minus W, so it's cooling down. It will be basically losing internal energy. Okay, D, the kettle falls off the stove. What is the change in internal energy? So if there's still no heat provided, so it's still minus W. And what is the work done? Well, we have the kettle here, and it has potential energy, and then it hits the ground, and it has kinetic energy. So when it hits the ground, it has something which it didn't have at the start of the story. We weren't really considering the potential energy because in some sense it was kind of already at a ground level in our mind. Now it has fallen below where it started and has gained kinetic energy, which was really there in the form of potential energy, which we ignored since it wasn't relevant. So this kinetic energy is work done to the kettle. So in other words, what's going to happen now is the kettle will hit the ground. So a force is being applied to the kettle. A bit like in the earlier example where the force was applied to the gas. The work is going in rather than coming out. It's not like the kettle did any work. It's the opposite direction here. So in this case, it will be a half mv squared, or mgh, whichever you prefer. So in other words, if you want to think about it as conservation of energy, the potential energy became kinetic energy. The kinetic energy didn't go anywhere when it slammed into the ground. Instead, it went into the block and made the block warmer. Not the block, the kettle. Okay.